I always start with the same thing. And this is just a lot of like kind of fun anyway, because you really connect with the game. You really get a feel for how the tools feel. So you want them to face every single way, so you're very used to it. You're very comfortable with it by the time you play in tournament. Most people wouldn't think this is what I do to learn how to play, but simplicity is beautiful.
The match we've been waiting for. Peepee and Armada.
The most important thing when you are nervous, when you are watching people that have all the pressure on them, everyone's yelling, the most important thing that is going to kick in right then is your muscle memory.
Peepee is just going everything. He's attacking from all angles. He's keeping Armada guessing. He's making great choices.
Holy
You're like overwhelmed. Your brain is freaking out.
Peepee has the ledge. Just like I said, neutral out of that laser, and quick neutral out right there. Bam! Take the second match. Nice work, Armada.
And the only thing that's going to save you is not necessarily a Hail Mary. It's not, there's nothing, you can't pause the match and say, hey, I need to take 5, gotta have a water break. You don't get that. What you get is whatever you have prepared to do.
The crowd is violent right now.
Absolutely. Okay, it's looking good. That was a very, very beautiful combo on Peepee.
If I know this, I return to what's comfortable. I say, yes, okay, I'm doing actions I am familiar with. They have to respond to it. This gives me a sense of control. This gives me a sense of power in the situation. And that's what I want.
That's going to do it. Wow, great set players. Great set players. Armada very pleased with a fist bump and the scream. Grabs Amsa right next to him. Congratulations, Europe. You're taking the winners finals.
We did accelerated reader points in my elementary school and middle school, which is like you read a book and you get AR points, accelerated reader points. And I wanted the most. It kind of set up my lifelong relationship with reading. I love the heck out of it. I was always second. I do my own history, Yeah, and I kind of like live my life like kind of like a story a little bit, and I always want to like, log it and see where it's going. I grew up in a little town called Shelby, North Carolina. If you think of Southern hospitality, you would think of places like Shelby, I think. And if you ask my parents, they'd say I was a good kid. I didn't really do anything really terrible. I wasn't really getting into a lot of trouble. I look back and I see a little bit different story. I see a pretty spoiled kid. I see a kid that bossed around his poor, miserable friend a lot. When I got older, 12, 13, I was worried about people liking me, that kind of strange time for everyone. I had a friend who was smarter than me, and he was funnier than me, and he was better at arguing than me. And so he let me have it every day. I turned from a kind of spoiled kid into, a kid that just wants to be on everyone's good side. My whole life was Nintendo pretty much. And I remember very distinctly being extremely excited for Melee.
Yes!
God, and I was just like, yes! And I just yelled and was so happy when I saw it. My grandmother was like, shh. I played that for years and years casually. I loved playing that game. I loved it. And I was a huge daydreamer, and this is partly from reading, partly from being separated from, you know, society, from like, you know, being in Shelby, and then just how I was raised by my parents to be a little bit isolated. You know, I would daydream. I envisioned this perfect game. I love the open 3D world that Smash provides me, but the thing that Melee just doesn't seem to have is it's just not fast enough. So I want to push more buttons. Finally just decided to question myself, is there anyone out there that can beat my Mario? It was my first ever YouTube search, and I found a match. Donkey Kong is comboing the Fox, and he's going fast, and everything's crazy. They're hitting each other, and the percent's going up. And I asked the typical noob question. I was like, how are they doing this? They're doing something. There's something is happening that's making them do this. And I was like, that means I could do it. That friend I mentioned, who I met in middle school actually, he gave me a hard time and everything, but he was hilarious. He went out of his way to make me laugh, and I spilled orange juice, and it was all over my lap. He made so much fun of me that day. It was terrible. You know, people were coming up to me, did you pee yourself? I said, no. But one of the things he called me was Dr. Pee-Pee.
Dr. Pee-Pee!
My first tournament, I realized everyone has these cool gamer tags and I don't have one. It's like, oh shoot, I need a gamer tag. What am I gonna do? I wasn't going to be good at the game. I knew I wasn't gonna be good, but I needed people to know who I was and to like me anyway. I could be Dr. Pee-Pee.
You are so Dr. Pee-Pee!
I kind of just learned through trial and error and like a very rough way of thinking about things, and videos and videos and videos and videos and videos. And I just learned mix-ups and how people pretty much always reacted to very certain stimuli that I would give them. I switched from Mario to Falco actually. I was inspired by the Shizwiz.
Yo, the Shizwiz is for real!
He was very aggressive, very good comboing, very flashy, and I really wanted to be him. Played and I tried to be aggressive. I don't think this is in me. I can't play like that. I have to play to my strengths. Putting people in positions where it felt kind of unwinnable for them. Combos which hit as hard as I possibly could hit. It was tightly controlling. I wanted to micromanage every single thing. The problem with that is people don't like that you're not flowing. They don't like that you're not approaching a lot. It's not fun. Given that our state was about having more fun, I didn't really fit in at all. They would get upset and they'd be like, man, you play so lame. And I'm like, well, you know, I'm just trying to do the best I can. You know, I think, you know, you play good games and maybe I can help you out sometime. And they're like, don't talk to me like that. I want to be upset with you, you know? My local tournament, I got 4th at it. I became quickly the subject of an intense ranking discussion. Like, what do you do with this guy? He came out of nowhere and just got 4th at our tournament. That doesn't happen. I kept putting up results after that.
Yeah, beat Chudat. He 3-stock Chudat at Grand Finals.
Yeah, Chudat's pretty good.
He beat Chudat. What tournament was that? Dr. Pee-Pee, Falco player, number 1 in North Carolina.
Nice to meet you, man.
The Doug.
Did you go to FC?
I did not. I'm a new guy.
He comes along. I remember playing him for the very first time at Tipped Off 4.
Beasting it up, trying to see. Right now, me and Linguini are 6-0, so that's pretty good. Big down pools.
It was a big tournament too, full of good players. And I remember getting so far in bracket and like loser semis. I thought I got him Dr. Pee-Pee. I'm like, what? Who is this guy? He's probably a scrub, and I played him and I fucked him up. And I'm just like, this guy sucks. He's so bad. But I later realized that he's actually really good. He's just horrible against Puff. He has no idea what to do.
It's terrible because you're this control freak and you're trying to micromanage, and this thing is just, you know, whatever. The herb series, he would come to that and he would beat me. I would go back to tipped off and he would go back to that and he would beat me. And it sucked. I hated losing to him.
Me beating him that badly was definitely a motivation for him to just practice the shit out of that matchup and really understand things in the psyche of the matchup that even I don't understand.
He was like beating me. I was just kind of thinking, well, I mean, you know, I think I could still beat the character. You know, I have a lot of faith in Falco. Let's figure it out. Like, this is when, you know, Puff just beat Falco. Like, you know, Hungrybox was like, Puff beats Falco. Like, everyone thought that, and it was just like, I'm gonna keep trying to figure it out. So you have to look at the matchups as like they're currently being played, and then think about like almost like a theoretical other metagame that like you want people to kind of like strive for and push into.
The way he approaches the game is completely different from the other four. He approaches it very mentally. He studies players. Like, he'll watch tape, but he doesn't look at when he got hit. He looks at what position he was in before that to even get hit. And then he looks at what leads into that position. Like, why did I even move there? Oh, it's because he likes to do this. And like, he'll go that far into every situation.
It sort of got to the point where he got to Herb 3, and then he finally beat me at Herb 3.
And Hungrybox, I have no clue what happened, but ladies and gentlemen, I do know that was the end. PP is your Herb 3 champion.
You know, that was the first sort of thing, like, whenever I lose to a player in a tournament, I can sort of, for some reason, like, foreshadow, like, they're probably gonna be really good.
And now, like, the conventional wisdom is Falco beats Puff.
As the battle to improve and become the best raged in the South, the world's undisputed champion was finding his position at the top to be somewhat less desirable than he'd hoped.
The first person to break the curse was Kage. The person who made Mango lose a tournament.
Oh, that's so scary. Mango, Puff.
It was at Revival of Melee 2, and Kage beat him in winners with Ganon, which made no sense, and then he beat him in the losers, which made even less sense.
Oh, Mango! Kage ended the reign.
Mango's here, but he's not winning the tournament?
That's the first time I realized that like being the best at something like has like it sucks sometimes. People expect me to go out and perform at a certain level, and if you don't, it's like everyone sees, and it's like you just get walk of shame it, you know. And it's just like, this is rough. Like, is this a life I want to go down?
He felt that there was this unfair burden that was placed on him by you people who were maybe like his fans, where like we expected him to win. And there was some truth to that, but I think for Mango and for a lot of players, you know, once you get to the top of the mountain, you need to figure out why you want to stay there, because there are other people who haven't been there yet, or they want to get back there, and they're hungry. So I think Mango kind of threw himself off the mountain and was okay with it for a long time.
And then after Kage beat Mango, he went on to lose to Hungrybox and PP, which was kind of ironic in a way, because Mango was playing Puff and Falco, and then Hungrybox and PP were Puff and Falco. And PP, mind you, was coming up, right? So PP beats him with Falco, and PP looks like a slightly stronger Falco on that day.
Oh my God! PP out for broke. PP like, hey Mango, take notes.
I got second at that tournament. So yeah, you know, I walked away from ROM 2 happy. Placed over Mango, PC Chris, who was still a huge name at the time. PC Chris was like, oh my God, you know, are you Dr. PP? You know, you did so well at this tournament. Can I play a friendly with you? And I was like,
he definitely kind of had like the wide-eyed new smasher thing going on, where he was like in like bewilderment of how good the game was and really just wanted to get better. And I think that's the biggest thing I noticed about his personality early on, was he just seemed to have a lot of drive, a lot of passion to get better.
Mango, that's disrespectful to everyone. To Hungrybox, to me, to you.
After a resounding victory at Pound 4, Melee's greatest player was looking for a way to step back from the game and found his opportunity in the up-and-coming Falco player from North Carolina.
Mango was kind of looking for like a successor. Right? At that point, he's like, whatever, I'm tired of doing this. You all suck and whatever, and I want to train someone. And we played a lot and we talked some. It was, I was kind of put off by like how abrasive he was. And no, I will not tell you that once you get to know him, it's better. No, he just stays abrasive, and like he just also learns to make you feel good sometimes.
Complete disrespect. His name on Twitch before he started streaming used to be I Destroy PP69. Like that was Mango. He didn't even bother putting his own name on his own account. It was I Destroy PP69. They would always talk. They would talk about the game. They would poke fun at each other, Mango more so.
I think we fit certain roles for each other. He was kind of in my corner after that point. He really wanted a Spacey to do well. He's like, Mewtwo King plays like a virgin, whatever. And we became friends. We talked on AIM. We got a lot closer. And Mango would tell me where I was on his friend hierarchy. I was always at the bottom of the list. He would link me like his gangster music, and I'd be like, okay. I'd listen to like pop music and Toho. He'd be like, what do you think, man? And I'm like, it's pretty sick, dude. And he'd just be like, I'm so disappointed in you, Kevin. I don't know what you want. I don't listen to this. And I could feel, as I got better, as I kind of was exposed to more stuff, as I, especially as Mango got better and I got to know him better and talk to him about the game more, and I would play him, I felt, this sounds a little strange, but I felt there was this limiter, this wall, there was like something holding me back. I felt like chained. I wanted to come forward, but I didn't know how. I didn't understand what to do. Even though I was like playing very rigidly, I wanted to get them. So like I'm not running across the stage at them like Mango. I would play like with like always having a threatening intent, like you have to watch out. If you slip up mentally, I'm going to come and get you. But until then, I'm going to wear you down. And people just kind of said, no, you're just playing lame. And so there was a huge internal struggle there, which it's kind of is compounded by I really wanted to make people like me and how I felt about myself. I'm going to give up so much if I do it. I don't know what to do.
What's good, people? You know exactly who this is. Dogie Sam is bringing you yet another interview from Apex. Sitting next to me, I got the 2-in-1 deal. I got the most interesting man alive. We were saying it today on the stream. This is the man who invented the invention, Scorpion Master, a.k.a. Scorpidorp, a.k.a. Mango. Say what's up to the people, sir.
What's up?
Apex was like a very developing series. It started out as a brawl tournament. If it weren't for the Apex series, I don't think we would have gotten into EVO, and I don't think our game would have been as big. Because without these big series, Armada wouldn't even come over.
BBNJ, y'all. I told you Mango was gonna come. He's here.
And that was when Scorp made his official appearance.
He just started deciding to use Mario, and he just called himself Scorpidorp. Like he gave himself like a second persona.
What if we just invent some secret person and we just pretend it's not Mango? Scorpion Master.
Scorpidorp versus the Mewtwo King, winners finals. He made an account. He was a personality. People were like, yo, you sure that's not Mango? Because Mango types like that.
Even now, if you check a YouTube video, someone will say, so wait, who is Scorpion Master?
Scorpion Master guy is insane! Insane! This is madness! I heard he's from Portugal. Where is he from? I don't know.
His Mario was very good too. Like he was beating a lot of players.
Looking like a statue right now. Oh my god. Zero to Scorpion Master. He's Mario! 0 to destruction. That's unacceptable.
You almost beat Mewtwo King with the Mario. I was like, man, we got a long way to go.
ago. I can't believe he's keeping up with Music and shit. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah. The scene is definitely behind if he could be Music Mario.
South Africa. And then after that, people were like, "Okay, dude, the joke's up." But, you know, it was funny. Dude. He wrote it till the wheels fell off.
It was just his excuse to not try that hard, but still try. But at the same time, he'll get excused for losing because he's not using his main or anything like that.
Why did you want to come to this tournament?
Because I want to beat Mango.
I was not happy at all. I had traveled across the world, and then my biggest rival was not even giving me a chance of playing him at all. So I felt like pretty upset about that at first. Like, my goal is to become the best smasher in the world, and even if I win the tournament, everyone is gonna say Mango is still the best. So regardless of how this tournament goes, I'm losing. I went to Genesis 1, I went to Pound 4, and I was, coming back. It was pretty clear for most people that had a mission that I was not satisfied with second or fourth. I wanted first, and I wanted to beat the guy that was beating me the first time, mostly. But the thing is, I could not really do anything against it, and if you do not want to play serious, I guess a win would not mean as much for me anyway. I want to beat people when they play at their best. I do not want to beat someone when they are not, want to play the game, or they are, not in shape or something like that. I want them at their best or not at all. So I started to accept it. One day he might return, and that day I will be ready. But up till that point, the only thing I can do is beat everyone else that is in my way to actually win my first tournament in America.
Watch the live stream. I will win. I promise.
All right, that's good.
I played against Hungerbox at Apex 2010, and I do think that Hungerbox had learned tons of stuff against Pete during this half a year. It literally comes down to a backer war. He's doing backer, backer, and a backer.
Hbox was kind of the opposite style of Jigglypuff as Mango. He was a lot more defensive, played the spacing game a lot more, whereas Mango just kind of went in and relied on his reads.
A player like Hungrybox, another play-to-win character, he's not going to rush in and just get taken advantage of. He's smart, he's patient, and it's a real problem for Armada.
I can't seem to find an opening at all. And he beats me very solidly, like 2-0, and I have to go into losers. I did work my way through losers. I reached grand finals, and once again, I'm playing Hungerbox. And the first game, I'm actually having a pretty solid lead.
Armada pushing a good lead.
I stay in shield, and I think I was angling it upwards, which means that my feet, they were like not covered with the shield. So Hungerbox was basically landing right next to me and doing an up tilt.
I was thinking Armada might try to clock him. Ow! Oh! Beautiful move by Huggybox.
No, this was not what was supposed to happen. I had the lead, and now like one move later, it's over. He won game one.
Armada's not convinced that Huggybox had a solid win. He's calling it a fluke. He's trying to get his one while he can.
Everything I tried was going worse and worse for me, and Hungerbox was, playing, a bit better and better. Like, he was catching me off guard. His spacing was on point.
Two back airs, trying to put a wall in his face. Oh, dip!
And he beats me very solidly, 3-0. 5-0 in games. I had no chance. At this point, I'm starting to realize that this is not working. Like, regardless of what people say about the matchup, it's not working for me.
and I have to find an answer because I know if I want to win a tournament in America, I will need an answer to this Pokemon Jigglypuff. It's always stopping me, like 2 grand finals, 2 different puffs, 2 different players, and it's, you know, the last mission, like the last challenge I can't seem to overcome.
What do you think about Jigglypuff?
Winning Apex was great. Because Mango, especially after he got knocked out or sandbag, whatever happened, I felt way more confident. But coming in, I felt I was going to get first. You know, when I went to pound 4, I said I'm going to get second place behind Mango, and I got second. So whatever your mindset is, I learned, it pretty much always happens.
It was really impressive when he took Apex 2010 for sure. I think that a lot of people hadn't put him on that tier, despite the fact that he was usually doing just as well as the other guys, minus Mango. When he won Apex, he definitely started getting the credit and establishing himself in that tier as well.
Why did he go for the legs? Why didn't he go for the legs right there?
Played Armada at Apex 2010, and I took a game. And took a game, and I was like, wow. I did not think I would take a game, but I was getting really good, which was kind of weird because my emotions were getting pretty bad at that point.
Top 4, you really can't complain about that at a tournament with so many good players and so many upsets. You know, I'm going to go home and I'm going to work harder and I'm going to try and break into that top 3 next time.
I went to Wake Forest University, which is a very nice private college. You know, I never really learned how to be on my own because, like, my parents had just done so much for me. They really wanted to do a good job, you know, but in their haste to do a good job, they almost kind of, you know, keep you from being able to learn to do your own thing. Both semesters started the same. I was like, oh, you know, I don't feel like this is too bad. And then, like, some material would be, like, not so bad, like review, and then some of it would be kind of easy. And then there would be, like, you know, a kind of significant assignment. And I'm like, oh, I have time to do that. And then I just wouldn't do it. When you're freaking out about failure, your alarm bells are going off. You're getting so worked up. It's impossible to describe how mind-numbingly afraid you become of it. In some ways, like, you know, my parents wouldn't be able to hear that I wasn't doing well, so I lied to Mom because she would call a lot and want to know what's going on, and I would say everything's fine, everything's fine. And then I get the, you know, grades came back from the first semester. She's like, what's going on? I said, I messed up, you know, I'm going to do it good again. Because I just, like, I just didn't want her to come down on me. It was just strange. Like, I just didn't interact with people. Everything was incredible effort. It was the most depressed I've ever been. So the second semester, the exact same thing happened, and, you know, dark thoughts started to creep in. I'm really afraid of just in general, just like sharp corners. I guess it's like a little weird, like, you know, scissors or whatever. I was getting to a point where I was just like, yeah, I'm not even like afraid if I see that. In fact, I kind of want to, and, you know, I was really having, like, I was like starting to plan out like what I would do, what would be the fastest way. I was, you know, the, you know, high achiever, did all my stuff right kid, and then I go immediately from that to just completely messing up in college. When I came home and they, you know, they realized what had really happened, they weren't really forgiving. They were really hard on me, and they blamed Smash, and they said, you know, you cost us all this money, and it was really terrible. So in addition to being depressed and suicidal, my parents were telling me, you know, you just really messed this up and just cost us so much money. I mean, I just felt really bad, and there was just like, I just had no support, and it was just rough, except Smash. Smash was all I had.
There's a lot of people in Smash who wouldn't have been able to keep up with it in the way that he did. Even though he wasn't playing his actual best because of those issues, he still went there, smiled, put on a show for people. When he has a problem, he secludes himself away from other people, to try and fix it within himself.
Who's about to win?
That's a good question. Mutacane's here, right?
Yeah, he's right behind you somewhere.
Mango's here or no?
Yeah.
Okay. H-Box is here.
Yeah.
PB's here?
Yeah, he's coming too.
He's coming.
J-Man's coming.
That's tough.
Lucky's coming, man.
I have no idea who's going to win at all.
I'm about to win.
You're gonna
Me and
win?
Kage.
Good shit.
And Drug Pops, yo.
A year after Kage ended the reign at ROM 2, Mango took another chance meeting with the Canadian Ganon player to show that, if he wanted to, he could win at any time.
Why is Mango late? Because he doesn't care? He never practices Link. He never does anything like that, but he's good enough to be able to do that.
And combo starters for Link. Wow. All right, got that upping. Kage looks like he's sweating right now.
Mango could do these abilities, like he could beat someone as good as Kage with Link because he's smart enough.
Oh my god. Real bad position for Ganon right now. Oh! Beautiful.
Tell Kage to go young Link against Mango, like, see how that turns out.
Oh, he went Marth. Oh my god.
Oh, so scary.
When Mango would pick up a secondary, it would just be all his own. It would be completely his own character.
This is what happens when you play sober, baby. This is sober rotating character Mango.
Quick to
Despite his performances, Mango without his mains was not a threat to take the tournament. It would instead fall to his successor.
I beat Hungrybox, I beat Kirby Kaze in the run back, and then I played M2K in finals, and this was the match that people came for, and Mango actually helped me with that. Because Mango knows that M2K handles pressure not so well, so he started saying, oh, who wants a side bet, who wants a side bet, who wants a side bet? I have a very interesting book, it's the book of books if you want to read about how to manipulate people, and it's called Influence. I quit like counting every time I read it. I was like, Mango does that. Yep, that too. He didn't read it. He didn't talk to people about it maybe. He just kind of figured it out. So everyone's betting. Everyone's gonna be super hyped. I'd say he already looked a little bit flustered going into it.
Okay, it's me to King vs. Dr. BP Grand Finals. We just started because there was a load of bets. I put 10 on the boy PP. Everybody put Mango put $60 down on PP just now. So right now, you know, everybody wants PP to win because we about to lose mad bread. Let this lose. So you better win, PP. All right, PP. Oh, hey. Oh! No! Swear, oh! What? Spacing, we gotta watch out for that wave dash. The brown shot! Oh! Mewtwo Oh! Yo! Wait, this is Windows 7 Mewtwo King right here. Oh my God! These two dudes are going back and forth, just whooping each other. Still has to like play his heart out right now. Yo! Yo, there it is! Yeah!
I was so happy. That was like one of my favorite wins. Mango was supporting me, the people were, and it was still like a kind of come up.
Give us 60. It's like I played Wait, I want to split that money, man.
Armada came back from the US and he was pissed off. I remember watching the stream and being pissed off myself because he lost. I wanted him to win so badly and I believed him in so much, you know. And he came to this small Smash Fest and he's like, Lolex, the local Jigglypuff main, I'm gonna play your Puff now.
Europe didn't have like a single super good Puff player. So I was thinking like, how do I deal with a problem which I can't practice against? If I can't practice against his character, I'm gonna give him the same problem. He can't practice or prepare for my character. So I start to think about the game a lot. How is Puff as a character? How is she working? Every character has weaknesses. So I start to think about them. She's slow. Sort of like Peach, you know? They're slower. Camping works effectively against Peach. It should do against Puff as well. Not a fun strategy, but if you want to win, you have to do what it takes to do it. I came down to the conclusion that Ices, Luigi, and Young Link would work pretty solid against Puff. Ice Climbers have like Ice Storm. They have like solid grab setups, they kill Puff early, they can move very fast with the wave dash across the stage. But like, I pretty fast decided to not go Ices, because that would be like by far the most complicated one, and they're also not that uncommon. Like you can find pretty solid Ice Climbers in America. Luigi, I kind of figured that like, yeah, he's having pretty good hitboxes, he can move fast, you know, across the stage with his wave dash as well. But his recovery is not as solid, he can like get punished pretty heavily. So I felt like he was not as good. I actually remembered a Norwegian guy, Tomberry, a good friend of mine, and I remember our friend list, and he was camping me pretty, you know, efficiently as Young Link. I barely was winning these games. And I was like, if he could camp me with Young Link when I was Peach, maybe I can do the same thing as Hungerbox when he's Puff. After I'd been playing for a little while, I was like, yo, Android and Daniel, can you guys play Puff against me?
He asked me, can you play Jigs? Like, yeah, sure, why?
I do not think they believe in this solution at all. Like, why would you pick Young Link? He's a bad character. He's low on the tier list. This is not gonna work. I was, you know, using the projectiles, trying to create a wall, you know, like make it hard for Puff to reach you.
If I become aggressive, Armada told me, no, you have to be camping now. Don't attack, be defensive, don't do anything. I was like, but I want to be aggressive, I can't take this anymore.
The more and more we played, the more and more annoying they started to feel. Like, this matchup is actually not as bad for Young Link. It's actually, you know, pretty solid. This might be my answer. I should take this further. I should try this against more people.
It's like, all right, let's go. And he picks Young Link, and everybody kind of hovers around, looks, and be like, Young Link. And he plays one match, destroys him, and then he like tells everybody, like, gathers us around. It's like, okay, you guys cannot talk about this.
I request to all the Swedish people that we do not talk about this. Like Fight Club, outside of this area, we do not talk about it. We do not want Hungerbox to be ready for this at all. This would be the biggest surprise of his life.
Here we are beginning pound 5. Everyone's organizing name tags right now.
I was barely aware of Pound 5 because I was kind of out of the scene at the time. It was within walking distance of where I was living. I literally found out about it and was like, well, I guess I'll walk down the street to the biggest tournament of all time and see what happens.
Mango decided once again to not play serious at all. We played some friendlies, and I felt like this guy is still fucking amazing. Like, he would be the favorite to win Pound 5. But Mango was not like my main focus for this tournament because I knew like he's not gonna play PPMD. He was also, you know, one of the main focuses between Apex 2010 and Pound 5. He beat Music King, and then a lot of people thought he would actually win Pound 5. I knew like I had a lot of good competition anyway. But I said I was the most excited about. I'm not gonna lie, it was Hungerbox.
We have Are we on?
Most of the time when I'm playing Smash, most people won't see that I actually have, you know, a fun time. I'm sitting there, I have a poker face, no emotions. I do not want to give them any tell about anything at all. We're about to start, and he was like, wait, are you playing Young Link? And with a smile on my face, I was like, I'm playing Young Link.
I looked at him, and I'm like, are you going Young Link? He's like, yes. And first glance, it's like...
He was like, okay.
All right, first and foremost, I gotta say, oh my goodness. Wow. All right.
Everyone's getting ready for the super long Peach Puff matchup. And then boom, Young Link.
What you see in the first 30 seconds is what you're gonna see for maybe another 4 minutes or so. Wow. That's the first stop, baby. Armada pulling out the tricks with a Young Link.
Every time I played in America, every person I played against, no one had really supported me except for a few people. But when I was playing this set, I heard the entire venue, they were chanting my name. They wanted me to win. They were hyped. They wanted to see this.
Oh, I thought that was a kill opportunity. He is secret. There it is. Wow. There it is.
What you did against me at Apex 2010, payback is a bitch.
Hungerbox played him towards center stage. Can you do it? Wow. I must say, Armada has my stamp of approval with going Young Link.
I beat him very solidly, both games, 2-stock. It's not close, and like everyone is like, their mind is like blowing. They have no idea what to think about this. Finally, I seem to have an answer to Jigglypuff, the character that had been beating me 2 grand finals in America. Mango is not there. Hungerbox was eliminated 2-0 in winners by me. Now it's finally time for me to take my first tournament.
It's tiring. You get exhausted. Yeah, I was just saying. Sure it is.
PPMD. He had been beating my, fellow man from Europe, Amsa, 2-0.
Just one gimp away. We've already seen a beautiful.
That's right. It's defense time with the spike and it's over. Great match, great competitors.
He was beating me here to game 3-0. It was not even close. This guy, he was, he was wrecking people.
Damn.
I'm playing pretty good.
It's already making me think about PP versus Armada. PP looking indomitable, Armada looking indomitable. It's like what happens when an unstoppable force defeats an immovable object.
I'm going through winners, everything is going according to the plan, and I'm playing as PPMD.
I play Armada in winners finals. Mango, he's like, you've got to win. Like, I am not going to try and beat Armada. Like, you have to win. And I was like, okay.
All right, crowd is getting hyped here for the winners finals. It's the match we've been waiting for. Dr. PP and Armada.
He started off super strong. Insane, I've never seen a Falco combo flow the character so well. It sort of reminded me of myself in a sense, but in a Falco instead. This was calculated methods to deal with me, I could see that. So it was a challenge for sure, and PP was beating me game 1. Carl W, he was like sort of my rival in Sweden. We played every grand finals for years, and he's a Falco main. I know this character, and once I get that one hit, it's gonna be rough for you.
Just like I said, neutral out of that laser, and quick neutral out right there. Fast pay the second match. Nice work, Armada.
And I started better and better in the set. Towards the end, I'm winning 3-1 pretty comfortably.
That's gonna do it.
This is my tournament. Hungerbox is in losers, PP's in losers, Mute King is in losers, I'm in grand finals, I have 2 sets.
That was a hard loss. I cried after that loss. I didn't want to be around anyone. I moved away from everyone. I kind of ran off on my own. Apparently, Mango said to someone afterward, I knew I should have entered because he didn't have any faith in me anymore at that point. I confronted him about this later. He said, what was I supposed to think? And I was by my hotel room and I was sitting down. I wasn't know if I was upset at Peach or him or anything. I was just kind of upset. I was really upset that I lost. Maybe a little bit of Peach. It was all just a really frustrating thing. Fighting floaties when you don't really understand what's going on is so frustrating. I was so mad about the loss, and I was just like, so dumb. And something through all of my emotional intensity just cut across. Something in my brain had been working in the background, apparently. I'd been like looking at the match and really analyzing it and thinking about it, and I was hit with, like, all of a sudden I was like, wait a minute. I was putting together connections, and it was like things I wasn't seeing in the match. And I started thinking about like how some of his habits that I kind of remembered, that, like, and I was like, this guy actually kind of falls apart. This guy's not very solid about this or that. And then I was just like, oh my gosh. I can totally beat this guy. I can do it, and I just got fired up and I said, screw it, let's go, let's do it. So I go there and I get to the grand final, I sit down, and he's coming over, and I'm looking at him, walking over, and I'm like, who does he think? He's owning the place. I was ready, I wanted to get him.
Okay, feeling the hype here at Pound 5. We got a grand finals happening right now. We got PP versus Armada. PP starting at blue spot, down or down smash. Very nice.
In that set, I kind of took the limiter off, and when I said, well, I don't care how it goes, I'm gonna get this guy. I don't care how I play, I don't care about approaching, I don't care about what I think is right or wrong, I'm gonna get him. That's all I care about. I was playing aggressive and it was kind of ugly, but you didn't care because it was working, and I was like, yeah, whatever, I'm gonna do it. I was so close to losing, but I remember being in my head back then, and I remember thinking, it doesn't matter how close it is, I'm going to beat him.
4P, gets the edge guard. This is his last stock.
It didn't matter how good he played, it didn't matter what he was doing. I was going to beat him.
Armada's up big!
And I was furious.
He is chasing him down. Ooh! Oh my God. Oh!
And I was making him do crazy air dodges like he just didn't do. He was down smashing and I was far away. And he was doing rolls and he didn't roll because he was Armada, and he held that shield like he held the line. Comboing and the crowd was going nuts.
PP just beat Armada.
Congratulations, Dr. PP, current Melee Championship of the world, 2 major wins in a row. We're very proud. Signing off.
This is the end of Pound 5, everybody. Oh my God, PP has done it. I'm out.
It was such a good win. It was such a good win. It was resounding. It was how I wanted to ultimately to clinch that title I had always wanted. That best. I never wanted to be the best player. I had just wanted that guy above me to stop thinking he was better than me. It was the culmination of everything. It was the culmination of all my effort. It was the culmination of the sacrifices, the trade-offs I made in my life almost. It was me breaking free of tons of barriers I had on myself. And that's beautiful. That should, that's when the book should close, and they said, then they live happily ever after, right? No, that's not how life works. There's always a little more.
Why am I always the one losing? Maybe I should quit.
He doesn't want to go home without winning any tournaments.
Are you coming for Apex?
Yeah, I'm coming.
every single one of the gods is beatable.
He instantly started challenging me on it more.
This is my game. No one's allowed to be cocky but me.
I can see right into his soul when it's something wrong.
If you can't beat the other guys, like you can't just like awaken me from my slumber. So you gotta win.
It was like no one knew who was gonna beat who on that day.
If I lose this time, it's not for the same reasons.